So I was hearing through the grapevine just before I went on air that Kevin Klein, councillor for Charleswood, Tuxedo, and Westwood, had been bumped from Planning, Property, and Development, PP&D. And so I reached out to Kevin. He confirmed that's the case, and he joins us on the phone now. Kevin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Hal.
What happened? You're off PP&D.
Yeah. You know what? We have a vote, like they get together, all the council gets together, and they make a vote, and, it's fine. Listen, the mayor has an agenda, and he has the ability to, make moves and maneuvers, and this is if this is what they want, that's perfectly fine with me. It allows me more time to look behind more doors and see what's behind there. But I certainly have enjoyed my time on PP&D. I know that they have a lot of big problems and a lot of challenges in front of them. So hopefully we can see those get addressed and get the city back on track.
Were you given a reason?
No, it's just a vote. But they do it every year, right? So councillors get together to decide who will be on what council. So, of course, you get everybody in there, which is like city council, if you will. All the votes are on one side. So it's part of what happens at City Hall, and it's an opportunity. I was proud to be there and happy to serve on that committee, and enjoy working with the other folks that are on there. And I think all of them are staying. And then it's Councillor Allard that's going on in my place.
So, Kevin, listen, I've said this on the air before. I know you, I've known you, and I'll just ask you a real blunt question here. You're not afraid to push the mayor, EPC, and other members of council too on issues. Are you maybe pushing too hard? Is that what's at the base of this, or am I reading too much into it?
You know what? I wouldn't venture to think what other people are thinking. I'm simply doing what I had committed to do when I agreed to put my name on a ballot. And what I told people at the doorsteps is that, we have a lot of concerns. We have some challenges facing the city. And I'm going to continue working on those challenges. And I'm going to continue working towards uncovering where the issues are and bringing the facts out to the public who are paying for all these bills. We have, we're facing a number of lawsuits that could be into the $100 million range if we lose them all. So I am going to continue doing what I'm doing. If it offends somebody personally, I do apologize. It's not my intent to offend them personally, but this is a job. And my job, I felt, and still believe, and it will be until they don't elect me back in, will be to ensure that we're doing the right thing for the taxpayers, that we're looking for common sense solutions, that we're looking at the budget carefully, and that we're actually, putting something out to the public that benefits us today, tomorrow, and especially in the future. And that if asking questions and bringing stuff out that that somebody doesn't want out, if that happens, I'm sorry, but I'm not here to listen to one person. I'm here to listen to the people that elected me.
All right, Kevin, thanks a lot. Appreciate this.
You bet.
Kevin Klein, councillor for Charleswood, Tuxedo, and Westwood. He has been voted off the Planning, Property, and Development Committee. He says he'll have more time to continue to look behind doors at City Hall. He's no longer on PP&D, but he is still the councillor for Charleswood, Tuxedo, and Westwood. I just got an email from Maureen, 204-780-6868. Hal, why do people keep voting this Bowman into power as mayor? Don't tell me he has succeeded in dispensing with Kevin Klein, councillor for Tuxedo. Why is Mr. Klein being removed from some property designation? I am outraged. He had a good suggestion for using a tree lot for people to put their downed trees on without going to the Brady landfill, and he was the only government official that cared enough to speed things up at the city to finally get a city inspector and power into my home on the seventh day. His departure has got not good news. That's from a listener and obviously a constituent of Klein's. Bill is on the phone wanting to talk about inspectors. Yes, Bill.
Well, actually, I phoned to talk about Mr. Klein's the little interview there.
Sure.
You know, I'm so impressed with that guy. He's the template for the city councilors. He sure upped his game. You know, finally this is the first councilor I have encountered with logic and common sense. And you know, I wish the rest of these councilors and the mayor would listen to with Mr. Klein, how he operates, and up their game. Really, that's a challenge. You got to up your game.
Tom's on the phone, 204-780-6868, wanting to talk about Kevin Klein, the councillor in Charleswood, Tuxedo, and Westwood, who, as of earlier today, has been removed from PP&D, Planning, Property, and Development. Yes, Tom?
How are you doing, Hal?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, I just heard that piece about Councillor Klein being punted from PP&D.
Yes.
And I guess he was... I just heard him. I heard his comments, and I guess he kind of had to take a politically correct line. But it's my feeling, and I think it's the feeling of most people that are reasonably intelligent will know that he was punted because he was a little too outspoken on that city inspector firing thing, in him having said that, you know, maybe some supervisors should have been let go and, you know, maybe the investigation didn't go far enough. So I think pretty much... most reasonably intelligent people will know that's really the reason.
Well, that was my first thought, and that's why I asked him the question. I said, do you feel like you're pushing Mayor Bowman, and other members of council, EPC, too hard? He didn't want to make the connection, but I agree with you, Tom. I think there is a connection there.
Well, so do I, and and you know what? I give him credit. I really, really respect him because there aren't enough of them that really do push. You know, when things get controversial or a little bit heated. So I give big kudos to him. I wish he was my counselor.
I'll tell you what, I'll say this about it's easier to fall in whether you're at the city or the province or federally. I don't want to talk about Klein specifically. It's easier, I think, in politics. And I've had the opportunity, I've been asked many times to run for different levels of government.
Oh, good God.
I think
you'd want that job.
Well, that's it. Because I think it's real easy to kind of fall in line and just do the same old thing. And whether you agree with Klein or not, and I don't agree with him on everything, but I will say this. He believes that what he's doing is the best. He's doing the best possible job for his constituents. I've known him. I know him. I don't agree with everything he says and does, but I think
I don't agree with everything either. That
sure,
says.
Right.
But I give him credit for standing up and
yes,
and trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And you know what? I just wish more of them would do that.
Agreed. Tom, thanks for the call.
Thanks, Hal.
Appreciate the call. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.